The casting director approached me first through my agent and said they would like to hear you read for this. And it was an audition, but it wasn't like a big call. I've been on those. I think that somebody knew that they thought they wanted me, but they had to get me in to read for it. And so I did. But I had not, at that point, read the source material. I had just seen a drawing of O. And I was like, oh my God, okay. I held it up next to my computer next to my face and asked somebody, I said, could I voice this? They were like, oh yeah, sure. Which I didn't know. I just thought, I really like the way this guy looks, this creature. And it's just been a smooth ride ever since with me and this alien. I found it very, very moving. And I found the relationship between the character I voice, O, and the character Rihanna voices, Tip, the way that their relationship evolves through this movie, and how two people who have such judgments of one another at the top of the film end up so close by the end. It's very moving. The Boov in general are very unilateral. They're all of one mind. Even though they're separate bodies, they're really all of one body. And whatever Captain Smek says goes. And O, who I voice, he is fully believes in that. He's really enthusiastic about really being a Boov and being the best Boov he can be. But see, that enthusiasm itself is wrong for a Boov. The good thing, though, is that through the course of the film, he gets to meet this little humans girl, Tip, that Rihanna voices, and he finds that he doesn't have to connect to the Boov to have friends. He can find friendship in the most unlikely of places, in this case, a human's girl, and that he actually has a lot in common with her. And it ended up being kind of a big learning experience for me. There's a certain feeling I always had I go in for like a 3 or 4 hour recording session at a time. And I felt like I spent the first 20 minutes getting adjusted to the recording session and getting comfortable. And then you're really in it. And it just feels like it's the two of you locked in a room and just playing. Working with her in the recording studio and working with her, like even doing interviews together, she's just a wonderful scene partner. She does that thing where, the energy gets thrown her way and she's there to pick it right up. The contribution of music to an animated movie is enormous. I mean, it's one of those things that it's always a nice lesson too if you get the chance, and it would be a weird situation, but to see something like an animated movie you love, any of them, and take the music away. I mean, really any movie you could do that with, but I think it's really important in animation. And in this case, to have... she's just such a beautiful musician, and to have her music in general helping to color these scenes. But then in this situation specifically, because she's Tip, and that's the voice you're used to hearing this little girl talking, and then consciously and subconsciously you get this connection of that's the voice you're hearing with some of this music. I think we're in for a very special treat. He's so easy and such a good conversationalist, and he's just so giving, as a performer, but even to sit around and kill time with between takes, between interviews or whatever. He's a very giving person as far as conversation goes, and it's very special to have had the chance to spend time with him. I feel like it's so fun. It's got so much good comedy in it, but it's not silly. There's a very simple but profound message, not lesson, but just this whole thing of finding friends in circumstances that maybe you prejudged and didn't think you ever would, making long-lasting relationships with people who you are very different than you and who you were taught that you were never supposed to connect with, that that's not possible, but it is. And the great joy that can come from that. The animation is stunning. It's truly stunning. I've watched some of the more finished clips, and all I said afterwards was, did they invent a new way of animate? I feel like I'm seeing something I've never seen before. I said, I don't know how to describe it to you, some of these scenes I'm looking at, except they look like real life. But I'm looking at an alien, and I'm looking at with this little girl, and it's not like photorealistic. It's just got this quality that you can almost feel, it seems to me, of life.